just stressing that because we have Richland in Rankin County. This is Richland in Holmes County. A tornado reported on the ground and 3 signatures associated with that, so that is a confirmed tornado. And right ahead of our intense area of low pressure that has developed in the pre-dawn hours and moving to the northeast, that's where the most intense part is. And it looks like up there now that cell is bowed or actually got a little kink in it across parts of Scott County. So a tornado warning for the Morton and Forest area has a little bit of a kink has developed there. A spin-up tornado now possible there. Let's take along the line. So here's the intense storm with the tornado coming up north of Pickens into the Richland community of Holmes County. So that'll pass to the southeast of Lexington, moving across the eastern parts of Holmes County, and the far part of Atala County is included in the tornado warning with that cell, so keep that in mind as well. But the most intense part of the cell and the tornado running right up and along parallel to I-55. Further to the south, here is this cell, which see a little kink has developed there, a spin-up tornado possible coming into the Forest community right now. So Scott County has a tornado warning, sirens going off there in Forest. So that cell has really developed over the last couple of minutes on that leading edge. And this is really part, you got your low spinning up there and the winds accelerating out and pushing the line of storms, and you can get a little spin up on that. That does not look nearly as intense as the storm up in Holmes County. Further to the south, we'll continue to watch all these cells. Already now, heavy rain has passed through Mendenhall and McGee, moving to the east. Heavy thunderstorm with some gusty winds coming through Monticello, headed over towards Prentice. If you're down in Tylertown, you got a cell that's crossing the Mississippi-Louisiana line just to the east of Magnolia. This will be an intense cell, and this could have some wind on it as well. So the action up and down the line for almost 200 miles, Nathan. Give us an update here on the winds with that cell now coming up on Richland. That is the most important cell right now.
And that cell is still packing quite a bit of wind, David, as we go over to 3D. We'll get to that picture in just 1 second. Here you go. You see those bright reds. Those are winds about 70, 80 to as high as 90 miles per hour, and that's headed right for Goodman. But you see that solid band of very high winds stretching from Lexington, Goodman, all the way down into northern parts of Madison County. But by far, the most dangerous part of this storm is just about to get into the Goodman area. That's going to continue to push its way towards Durant. So if you're watching us in those communities, you need to go to a safe place at this time. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground, and it is going to ride, looks like, just parallel to Interstate 55. So once again, if you know people traveling on Interstate 55 from Pickens to West, you need to call them and let them know about this dangerous situation, because we are getting certainly a lot of nasty winds. Trees are being reported down in the floor area. That's where this cell was earlier this morning, about just 30 minutes ago. We got trees across Florida, it looks like. Power outages are up to about 20,000 or over 20,000 across central Mississippi. Let's go over to the picture now. Here's a picture from the Bolton area, just off Highway 80, and you see a tree blocking the road there. So best idea, wait for these storms to pass, and there's going to be debris across a large part of the area with all these high winds. There's going to be down trees, there's going to be down power lines. So best idea, stay home today. That I think it's the best advice, at least until the afternoon hours when we start to get rid of all this action. But by far, you see there's the rain right there on 3D. We're looking at very heavy rain, and this rain-wrapped tornado, you can see the presentation of this. You see the counterclockwise spin, as what David was saying, this is a mesovortex. Now that's a very scientific term, but basically you think about a very small low pressure system that's winding its way, pinwheeling its way, and it made its way through Hinds County, Yazoo County, and now it's working its way into Holmes County and Atala County. And that's the cell that has been producing a confirmed tornado for a long period of time. Look at those winds. We are still seeing some pretty gusty winds, and now we got two areas of rotation. So let me go over to the rotation, just take a look at this real quick. We're still seeing some good rotation just to the west of Goodman. So that is going to head towards Durant and eventually towards west as well. One quick look what's happening around Scott County. We're not seeing the rotation as much here, but still there could be a quick spin-up tornado just to the southwest of you folks in Forest County. You are under a tornado warning at this time, David.
Well, it's just the classic setup where we have this intense wind moving along a squall line, and go over to live storms with 16 Doppler radar, and you get these spin-ups. Just again, you were showing that on 3D. It looks like it's really cycled to where the winds are strewn out again, so it looks like the cell is more of a straight line wind threat with a spin-up where those areas were intense just east of Ebenezer and into the Richland area. Here are the timetable. Exit 150 coming up there just in the next minute or two, and the cell right over Richland, just to the west of Goodman. But I think in Goodman you'll see some very strong winds associated with that, since it looks like it's really at least cycled into an area where we have some straight line winds at exit 156, I-55, and there you see Hoffman and good old Possum Neck up there in the northern parts of our viewing area. You're in the track of this as well. If you could clear the box and then start my show, please, I'll take you through the cycle again of all the cells. Strewn out strong winds. We got the circulation center near Ebenezer where there could be a spin-up, and then the spin-up west of Goodman right over the Richland community in Holmes County, and that is headed up towards the northeast. So now if you're in Durant, the most intense part of that cell headed your way, and the cell from Ebenezer will head up towards Franklin and McMillan. This is, for the folks not familiar geographically where I'm talking about, we're to the north of the Jackson metro area. This is up towards Holmes County. That's where these cells are most intense right now. And there you can see the 100-mile-an-hour winds coming across the Richland area. Right now, with that cell, you know, we kind of know what we're looking at, but there is a very wide and broad rotation with this intense thunderstorm cell, and then within that wind field you have these little circulations. Crossing Highway 17 north of Lexington out towards Ebenezer right now, east of the Franklin area, just about between Franklin and Goodman is where that rotation is. That'll be headed up towards Durant here very shortly. See where you have the reds and greens kind of sticking out with the bright red-green? That's where we have one circulation, and then that other circulation right there to the northwest of Lexington. Now on the east side of Highway 12, it's crossed 14 and crossed Highway 12 right now. So Durant, 5-10 minutes, that cell will be coming right over your area, and that's where we've had what looked like a fairly significant tornado couplet, reports of debris associated with that, and this is embedded in heavy rain, so that's why we're not getting reports that people have spotted a tornado on the ground. Circulation is embedded in a heavy area of rain. It is a rain-obscured tornado moving to the northeast this morning, and already now past Richland. We were talking about that, to the east of Highway 17, passed very close to Goodman. But now if you're in Goodman, up to the north side of Goodman, between Goodman and Durant, right along Highway 51, the circulation is coming up on this area right now. So this is where I think the tornado is, right on Highway 51, or just to the west of it, kind of between 51 and I-55. The cell is headed right towards Durant. So if you're watching in Durant, you need to be on high alert with that cell. Now, rotationally, we're losing the reds. The trend did look like it was more of a straight line wind transition, but keep in mind, straight line winds can do just as much damage, and we've seen the cells cycle up and down. Even with the straight line wind threat, there could be still, with